one lost side. And let's have a quick look at the bracket. And we can see this is a match that we are looking at here. Side. And it just started a few minutes ago. Have a quick look at the and if we can get things going, right, here we go. Actually, right, so we can see Shibo's won the first rack. And he's going to have to spin into this off the end rail. He's spun too much. Ball in hand to Smith, John. And this is awkward because he's having to put the cue ball straight onto the 5, so he's going to probably draw back to kick the 9 out the way if he can. That would seem to be the shot. And he's just managed to nudge it away enough. And now he needs a delicate little drawback for this 7. And that'll do. So it looks like we're going to be tied up at 1 rack all. Ball flies in the break, one of the wing balls, but no shot. Well, not the easiest of shots. The 2 balls gone, and he's going to have to be delicate with this to play and hold for the 3. Well, he got both parts of that wrong. He missed a 1, but he also overshot the 3. I think he's maybe got away with it. Shibo's going to have to try and spin onto that and catch the edge of the 1. I think he can do it. Well, he caught it too thick. Needed to just clip the edge of it. Again, it looks as if he's maybe got away with it. Oh, that double kiss there's done him a favour. Got the 1 tied up in the rail. And Shibo should be looking to feather the edge of it, but he's gone full-blooded for the bank. I think he's got it. And he's got a delicate cut back on the 3 ball as well. And he's got to avoid the 6. I think he can. And just dropping behind the 4. It would seem to be the problem ball's going to be the 9. It's slightly off the rail. So as long as he gets reasonably close to the 9, that would make it easier. Ideally, if we got the cue ball parallel with the 8, that would be fine, but he's going to leave it long, and he's got the wrong angle on the 8, So he's going to have to do something with the cue ball here, and this could be a problem. And he's stunned it. Not perfect, but he should be okay. So in it goes. And Shibo goes back into the lead. Nice spread on those balls, but no luck on the break. And even worse, he's left an easy 1 ball. Although he's queuing over the 5, he should be able to drop that in. Well, just seemed again a bit in a hurry there. And this might be an attempted 1-9 combo. It's nowhere near set, so he's going to have to look where he's going to cut this one across the 9, if he can do it. But not easy. And got that too thin. And has he got cover? Looks like it. Probably out of the jump stick. Now, Shibo can see the edge of the 1, I think. He can just see it, but the way he's going to hit this, he might be banking it across towards the 9, so he's got to be careful. And that needs to go behind it if it can, and that'll do it. He certainly didn't want to leave that in front of the 9, because it would have left an attempted combo for his opponent. And the 9 will be getting knocked away in a second. He's going to come in behind it, I think. Well, that double kiss has actually worked in his favour. And Shibo's going to have to try the same thing in behind it. And that's not too bad either. There's a very thin cut in the 1. And he's scratched, so ball in hand to Shibo, and a chance to run out. And I think the problem here is where that 2's sitting. It's awkward. So he's going to try and go for the 3 fouls here, I think. And that's a tough one. Cue ball's very tight to the 6, so it's difficult to make the angles. He's certainly going to have to play probably a couple of rails, because I don't think he can make the angle direct to hit that 2. Certainly not off the left side. And of course the problem here is that 2 is fairly adjacent to the 9. And he's played, well, that's unfortunate to scratch, but he's now left a 2-9 combo for Shibo. Oh, well, there's a gift. He needed to hit that firmer there. You don't want to leave the ball hanging in the pocket. You have to hit that firmer. So, where it should have been 3-1 to Shibo, we're back to all square, 2 racks all. And that was a bit careless. That 9 ball was tracking towards the right corner, but nothing doing again. And once again, it's a fairly open table. And also a chance of a long distance 2-9 combo. I think he's overhit that, has he? Yeah, again, the control of the pace is letting him down there. No shot in the 2, going to have to kick at it. And of course, he's missed the 2 and given Smith, John a chance now. Is he going to feel confident enough to try the run out? No, he's going to go for the 2-9 combo. And that's a much better played shot. So, into the lead, the Canadian goes. 2-ball. Oh, I thought the 2-ball was going in. Well, this is a cut on the 1. He's got to play it at a pace. Well, again, he's got lucky there, because that wasn't a very good attempt at a positional shot in the 2. He's kicked into it, knocked the 8-ball in, left the 2 on. So, and again, in far too much of a hurry. Not taking his time at all. You've got to set your shot up before you start taking them. You can't just try this instinctive play, because it just looks careless and untidy, and it's just giving away chances to your opponent. And so, provided he gets the pace in this run through here, well, he's overdone that by a mile, or he's underhit it, depending on what way you look at it. Now he's got a chance to drop the cue ball in behind the 7, possibly. It looks very tight. I don't think it's difficult to squeeze that 6 past the 7. So I think he's going to go for the pot here. And that is a good shot. But now the problems start, because he's entirely the wrong angle in this 7. Very, very difficult to get down for the 9. He's going to have to force this to generate enough power in the cue ball. And the spin actually worked against him there. The cue ball seemed to grip the cloth. So no attempt at the bank. I think that 9-ball was too close to the rail to attempt a bank anyway. And the same again, he'll probably just roll up to it. So we're probably going to get this back and forth until somebody makes the error. Or somebody lose patience, one of the two. Now that 9, I think, is off the rail a bit. Let's have a quick look. Well, it's off the rail enough to attempt a bank, and it's sitting in the middle diamond, and this, well, he's went for the cut, and he's got it. It's a good shot. Yeah, the cue ball, the 9-ball was off the rail by about an inch and a bit there. Just enough to give the attempted cut. So now we have a gap between the two players. Smith, John leads by 4 racks to 2. And Shibo really needs to tighten up and slow down. Again, no real position in the 2. He could go for the bank and he could send the cue ball around the angles, but he's looking for cover. He's not got it. And let's see whether Shibo can stabilise the situation here. Remember, it's only a race to 15. The winner's side's a race to 21, and in a race to 15 you don't want to start leaking racks too early. And now, is he on that 4-ball? Well, no, so he's going to have to jump out of that. And already we're into problems. big lag there. And again a tough 5 ball. The jump shot got him out of trouble, and of course you're never going to win racks by having to string tough shots together. But he might have got away with it. The 7 ball is offering cover for that pocket. Well, he hasn't, because he's cut it into the opposite pocket. That was a good shot. And gets position on the 6. Now I think the cue ball's going to run over towards that 9. He's got to be careful, and he's kissed the 9, and that's afforded him perfect position on the 8. And now we do have a problem developing for Shibo here. Smith, John is opening the gap even further, and now leads by 5 racks to 2. So the advice to Shibo is he doesn't want to be the architect in his own downfall here, and he needs to slow the pace down a bit, take his time a bit more, think over the shot a bit more, and he might find the outcomes a bit more favourable in some of these chances he's getting. Well, he's got lucky there again. Well, jump cue didn't achieve the objective there, and again Shibo has got a problem because the 3's tight in the rail in the top right, so he needs to get into the middle of the table, and he's going to have to cut that in. And yeah, that's not bad, that's pretty good. And again, he can come across behind this 4 ball, but he doesn't want to go low against the rail while he's hit the 4. And the spin, he had enough spin on it to get out, but now again he's left with a difficult cut. And the cue ball's running up the table. So that wasn't an attempted pot, that was a safety. Well, that I don't think was the wisest shot to play. And although the cue ball's finished in the middle of the table, it's taken away the opportunity for Shibo to try and play a 4-9 combo, but having the 4, but well, maybe it is going to work in his favour, because that again was a poor shot by Shibo. And we'll probably, if you can see the edge on it to make the cutting angle, he'll probably have a go. Maybe not, he might just freeze the cue ball behind the 5. And that's what he's tried. That 4 ball needs to run and miss the 8 ball, which it hasn't. And again, not cut enough there by Shibo. And that's too hard. So struggling with the pace here. He might try the cross bank. Certainly doesn't want to leave that 5 close to the 9. He could easily cut it towards the 9, but that's simply going to leave a combo. Needs to be careful of the in-off here if he's going to try this reverse bank into this bottom left. And he's not got it. Has he got cover though? I don't know whether he has. No, he can get that 5. He can make the potting angle on it. where's the 7 ball going? Well, that's not done him any favours. Going for the bank. If you can see enough of it, that is. No, he couldn't. Well, this is as good a chance as Shibo's going to get in this rack to win it. And again, not judging the potting angle. Cue ball needs to slow up, and I think it has. And he's going to have to probably follow through and go around the angles to take the 8 ball into the same pocket here. And that looks good enough. And he can cut that in fairly gently, and he'll have a cut down the rail of the 9. Doesn't need to force this in. And again, a careless shot. Well, he's not going to get very far in this match if he keeps missing shots like that. He's a much better player than what he's played there. And this is yet another rack that's gotten away. He couldn't win it even with 2 attempts at it. So it's now 6 racks to 2 to Smith, John. And it's clear that Shibo can't just rely on Smith, John teeing things up for him, because it isn't happening. He's going to have to work for it, and he's going to have to make his own success in this match if he's going to get anywhere. And he can only do that by potting balls and not missing. No. Again, a failed attempt at the escape there. Again, ball in hand. Now, does that 4 ball go in past the 8? No, it doesn't, so... Well, it certainly will now. And he's on the 2. That's opened up the table. Now, cue ball's going to hit the 9. How's his luck? Well, that's again worked out. Needs to get the north side of that 4 as we look at it, the top half of the table, to make it easier to get back to the 5. And he's under hit it, so he's going to have to try and manoeuvre this cue ball around the table, but that 9 ball looks distinctly in the way if he's going to try and go around those angles. But that's what he's going to have to do. He doesn't look as if he's doing that though. What's he? A bit of right hand English, you could force it around the angles. No, he couldn't avoid a 9. But he's still, I think, going to have a difficult cut in this 5. He's still got a shot. But again, he's lost track on the second part of the shot there. Didn't hit it with enough power to come back up the table for the 6, so maybe a reverse bank. No, he's went for it in the middle and he gets it, but he's going to have to pull out another good cut in this 7 and needs to now get the pace right in this one. Well, she's left it hanging. So Shiba's got 3 balls here to negotiate, and he's made a total hash of it. I don't think he came down to the corner to look at that ball. It's deep into the pocket, and he tried to hit it off the rail and chip the 7 in so he could get the cue ball out. And just not taking any time. And that's reasonable enough just to drop this 9 in. And that's another rack that's gotten away. This match could be an awful lot closer if Shibo had taken his time to steady himself and slow himself down, but just taking no time at all over shots, not thinking enough. And unless your head's clear and you take your time, things are going to go from bad to worse, and that's the way it looks at the moment. I think he's got a nice follow through angle here to go down for that too. Well, he's missed that cut. Well, that one's going into the middle pocket. Again, a poor safety shot. But again, Smith, John fails in the cut. So just a thin edge here for Shibo in this 1 ball. Try and get that cue ball up in the top right hand corner. Just feather it behind the 8 ball. Well, I think that's certainly, that pace in the cue ball there's taken away the cut combo, I think. He could have tried to cut that one onto the 7 if the cue ball had been right up in the corner. And now he's trying to just feather the edge of the 1 as well. And he's got it too thick. How's his luck? Well, it's again a chance for Shibo. Now he could draw this off that bottom rail over to the right hand side of the table up towards the 9, and he's under hit it, I think. Well, that isn't where he wanted to play the 2 from, I don't think, but he's got the gap. And again, a poor shot in the 2. He really should be getting these, and he's got far too many misses, far too many unforced errors, and the score reflects that. And meanwhile, Smith, John's got his hands full here. Again, an awkward cut in this 4, but the cue ball should be coming around and out into the middle of the table, so he'll at least have some sort of shot in the 6, you would imagine. Well, that's handy. That'll do very nicely. Nice kiss onto that 9, and just a drop through for this 8 ball into the right corner. Well, this is becoming all too easy for Smith, John, and he's not really had to work for anything so far. It's all been matter of fact and just tidying up what's left for him, and he's leading by 8 racks to 2. and we're not seeing any real evidence that Shibo's going to turn this around. Well, certainly not so far. And again, overhit it, but I think he can still cut that into the middle. But he's got to get lucky here to get on the 3, and this is what you don't want to be doing. You're just having to ride your luck to try and get a position in the 3, and this sort of angle doesn't afford that without a bit of luck. So he's kissed off the edge of the 6. He's down in the bottom left hand corner, and again he's going to have to pull out a good shot, and once again same thing in getting on the 4. Well, he's got a shot, but this isn't easy. This is an extremely tight cut into the middle. Might even try and cut it long. Well, that was always a very, very narrow target. And once again, Smith, John got a fairly simple 4 ball to start off with. Now he's going to have to play this really delicately, or play it a bit firmer and get the cue ball into the heart of the table there. Well, he's played it soft. Now, has he got that soft enough? No. He's going to have to jump it. He should have played the bigger percentage shot and get the cue ball up the table slightly, because it was an easy cut in the 6 from sort of the same level as the 8 ball. But he gets the jump, but he's scratched. So now, surely this time, Shibo is going to get a rack on the board and stem that flow of racks that he's given away to Smith, John. Just a roll in a 9. And now what he needs is a good break, and a ball in the break, and position on the next ball. Well, he's got the ball. 4 balls gone in, but he's tucked right in behind that 8 ball. And the question is where does he go with the push out? Now that one does cut into the left middle. It's not easy, but it does cut. It looks as if he's looking for safety. There's no gaps for that to go in. These balls are lined up to get good cover, and that one ball doesn't get to the rail, so again another poor safety shot. And he's the wrong angle in the 2, and once again he's going to have to try and do something with the cue ball. He's just played a little soft draw, nothing too exaggerated, and he's got a cut in the 3, and again the problem's getting on the 5. He needs to go far enough up the table, or he needs to get in between that 8 and 9, 7 and 9 in the gap. Well, again the 6 ball has done him a great favour. He's landed perfectly on this 5. And how's his positioning for this 6 ball though? Anywhere in the middle of the table. That's where he wants the cue ball. And that is ideal. And I think he might be rolling into the 9 here. Difficult to say. He might collide with it. No, he's avoided that. And this needs a well controlled shot just to hold for the 9 into the top right. So yet another rack on the board, and Smith, John's lead goes to 6 racks, leading by 9 racks to 3. And again a ball flies in. Cue ball almost went in. A couple of balls have gone now, but no shot in the 1. And leaving the 1 ball in the open here for Shibo. So it's yet another opportunity. He's got to go across the table twice. I don't know whether he can hold that, can he? Well, just managed to cheat the pocket. And already we're struggling. We're struggling, and he's hooked himself. And it's a hit and hope in the 5, and in it goes. And it's going to be the same in the 7, because he can't see the 7 either. Well, he's got lucky. He's left it very awkward, and it's difficult to say whether he's going for the pot. I'd be going for the bank or trying a double bank. Needs to watch the in-off in the middle here, so he's trying to draw this. Yeah, it was always a very, very difficult shot to judge. Where's it going though? It's went into the middle. So that luck has evened up in this rack. And now he's got a fairly straightforward 9. So if Shibo wants to see where he's going wrong, he knows where he needs to work in his game. He needs to work in cue ball control, because that's what's letting him down, and that's what lets you down in all billiard games. If you just cannot get your positional play in any sense of order, then it's always going to be a struggle. So Smith, John hits the double figures. He's leading by 10 racks to 3. And you would think there has to be a dramatic and almighty turnaround in this match for anything to happen for Shibo. And he's got to start doing it now. He's got to look at the pattern of the balls and think exactly where he wants to be leaving the cue ball. Again, that's slightly the wrong angle. He might just cut it into the middle. That would make it easier for him. Well, he's still got an angle on the 6. The cue ball just out into the middle of the table. Doesn't need to do a lot of work with it. And he's going a bit too heavy again. And that needs to keep running. So this is exactly the point I'm making. He's strung a couple of balls now. He's left himself a problem because he's had to cut the 8. Where's the cue ball going? Well, that's what you get. And it's becoming really untidy for Shibo. And another welcome gift for Smith, John. And he's now 11-3 up. And it's yet another rack that's got away. He gets a ball in the break. Now, can he cut that one ball? He most certainly can, I think. I think he can see enough of it. Now, does the 3 pass the 5? No, it doesn't. So, he's got a bit of work to do. I'm trying a lot of spin to get over behind the 3. And now, he's got a long cut up to the left pocket. That's the one he's going to play it in. And needs to watch where the cue ball's going here. Well, he's managed to hold that pretty well. Well, he's overcut it again. And again it's a chance for Shibo. Now, just needs to hit a little stun in this 5 ball, get the cue ball out slightly. Played a little draw, but that's okay. And remember, he needs the vital angle on this 8 ball, and he's going to get that. Well, is he? He's keeping running, it's keeping running, and that's gone far too straight. So he's going to have to draw this with bottom and right hand English. And it needs to keep travelling. Oh, and again he's got one of these awkward cuts in the 9. And he must be dreading this shot. But he's got it. And he gets another rack on the board. And I think Shibo's target here is getting a bit more of a respectable scoreline. He's got a couple of balls down. What is it? 4 ball and the 7 ball have gone. And again, I would still say he played that too firm because he's left enough space there for a jump shot for his opponent. He should have been trying to get that cue ball a lot tighter. And well, a failed attempt at the cut with the jump, but he's fluked a ball anyway and he's left himself in trouble. Well, managed to negotiate the snooker, but it's another chance for Shibo. Well, now he's in prime position with the cue ball. But once again, got into that far too much. He must have been aiming below the equator of the cue ball too much. And now that's why he's overcut the 3. So poor positional play here. And again, I wonder whether Shibo actually get anything of a warm-up before he came into this match. But the evidence we've seen so far, I don't think he did. Now, he can drop off the end rail, side rail and back out behind the 9. But he's drawn across it. And again, probably not the wisest shot. It's left it slightly awkward. He's probably still expecting to get this though. And in it goes. So it's now an 8 rack lead for Smith, John. And it's yet another rack that got away. It's the same story that's unfolding pretty much for every rack. And I don't recall seeing anybody running a rack, so the standard of play for these two players who are both rated champion is not that impressive, it has to be said. And I think they would both agree, if they were being honest. But one of them, and it looks like it's going to be Smith, John, is going to go on the one loss side and continue their tourney, but whoever does is certainly going to have to raise their game. Well, again, a very, very poor shot. Well, we can see the problem. If there is a problem, it's the 8 and 9, but when you look at the 8, it does go into the middle easily. And the 7 ball being at the bottom end of the table there, or the top end as we look from this end, makes it very likely that he can get on that 8. But he certainly won't now with the cue ball stuck. He's got a very difficult cut in the 5. In fact, probably better looking for a safety here. Well, he's gone for the bank. Where's the cue ball going though? It's going to hold up, I think. Now, has he got much of an angle? Well, he can actually just pull this out. He didn't get into it enough. Needed to get into that a bit more and a bit more spin in the cue ball to get it out, to make the shooting angle in this 8 a lot easier. It still goes, but now it's the difficulty's been multiplied, having to play it from that angle. So now again it's a chance for Shibo, and he's got a little angle in the 8 so he can roll through, come off the end rail and out to the right slightly and leave the 9 into the bottom left here. He could even take it into the middle, but more than likely going to take it into this bottom corner. So it's the deficit is reduced by 1 rack, but it is the proverbial mountain that has to be climbed here. But he's got, again, a couple of balls in the break. He's got a shot in the 1. He's going to have to hit it firm. Well, he got the kiss in the 8, which was handy. And if he didn't get the kiss in the 8, he would have been over on the right hand side of the table and had a much more difficult shot in the 2. So all he needs to do is just take his time. And now, well, again, it was a slight cutback, but he missed that by the country mile. And I think this is the worst I've seen Shibo play. And I think it's catching. And Smith, Jones seems to want to be playing at the pace of Shibo. I don't think he's bothered. He's leading by 12 racks to 5, but Nobody seems to want to win this rack. Honestly, haven't seen Shibo play as bad as this. I know he doesn't take his time. You know, he never slows down and thinks too much about his shots, which is probably one of his biggest failings. And there's another one there, and it's all going from bad to worse here. And it's another freebie for Smith, John, and it's another rack towards the final goal. So now just 2 racks away from victory in this match. And that rack's twisted to the left. You can see that, the way it's angled. Because remember, this is a random rack. The rack isn't always sitting perfect. The balls aren't always sitting tight. And now this is where it's going to get complicated for Shibo. And again, totally the wrong shot. He's overhit it, and now he's going to have to jump again. And this is after 2 or 3 shots. He's losing position, losing shape, and losing the rack, usually because of it. So negotiated the jump, but left the 4 ball on. Now the 5's going to be the problem. I mean, it does go into this bottom corner here past the 7, and he's at least going to have a shot at it, and he's going to have to hit it firm to get that cue ball off the side rail, and maybe the opposite side rail, and back out. Well, he's preferred to play at the softer option and now left an awkward cut. Same thing again, though this time he does definitely have to go across the table. And again he's left it a wee bit short. Still got a cut though. Oh, and that's cheated a pocket from the middle pocket there when it hit the rail. And that's why he's now out of position. And it's going to need a good one to just drop this 8 ball in. And if he doesn't get it, he's going to leave it hanging. If he's going to play it pocket weight to hold for the 9, well, he's played it even better than that. He controlled it a lot better. And now he's got a fairly simple 9 just to roll in. So Smith, John on the hill and breaking off in what he hopes to be his final rack of this match. And he's got a ball in the break. Now, where the 1 ball's finished, I think he can cut that one and just hit the knuckle. Well, he decided against it. But again, did he actually spend any time and look at where that cue ball was going to hit the rail after he hit the 1? I don't think so. But he's got it safe, that's all that matters. I think that's a full snooker on that 1 ball. That's going to be tough to hit, because I don't think he can even make the angle behind that 6. It's too tight. Oh, you can see an edge. You can just feather it. Of course, the 6 ball was always going to hold the 1 ball there, because he couldn't generate enough power to move that 1 ball a great deal. And Shibo can cut the 3 in, and he can come off the bottom rail and try and spin into that 4 and 7. And he's not managed to do that. And again, this is going to be a hit and hope for safety here. Again, he's hit that too firm. Now have a look at the 5 ball. Well, that's far too tight to say that it goes into that corner, and it doesn't go past the 9, so he's still got work to do in this rack. Got the cue ball up onto the 5, but missed the 4, and Shibo's got exactly the same problem. It's all going to hinge on that 5 ball. Well, he's nudged the 8 onto the 6, so now, has that opened up the pocket? Yes, it has. And how's he's locking the 6? Well, that's touch and go. Yeah, I think that was a foul, was it? Yes, it was. He just caught the edge of the 8, and this match is all but over. It's all going to hinge on this position from the 7 to the 8. And that's just going to have to bounce a bit, and it's bounced perfectly, and he can just come off the side rail. Doesn't need to spin it, just a natural angle will take him off the left rail and over to the right rail for the 8 ball. And he's hit it too hard and he's going to scratch. That's poor. That really is poor. A big margin of error there. Anywhere near that right middle pocket would have even done. And this is a gift for Shibo, but he needs a lot more gifts like that if he's going to have any miraculous comeback. But that match should have been done and dusted. And the 9 ball's going in for Shibo this time, so that's a quick rack. And I think the 3 ball's going in. He's got a shot on the 1. And should have a simple shot in this too. He doesn't need to play it hard. He can come off the rail and off the side rail and out, which he's done. Drop the 2 in. Make sure he's got enough room to get on the 4. Doesn't want to do anything silly here. And again, angle's perfect off the side rail into the middle of the table with the right pace to hold for the 5. Now he's overdone it again. He's gone the other way, which wasn't the best way to do it. Playing it into the right middle pocket. And you would think now he's got to come out behind that 8 and 9 the way it looks. And that could be a problem. Well, is he going to stop it and leave the 8 into the middle? And he needs to get the nice angle so he can hold for the 9. And that looks good. He can just draw it back slightly, not too hard. And he's got a shot in the 9 into the opposite corner. He looks as if he's playing top. Well, no confidence here to play the right shot. He's gone for the distance shot, and again he's left this awkward cut in the 9. But he gets it, and so Shibo wins 3 quick racks, reasonably quick. The golden break in the middle of those 2 racks. But he's got no joy this time. Oh, and that's just caught the edge of the 6. And no doubt. Well, I think there's a gap there to go between the 4 and the 3 and actually spin behind the 1, but he's going for the jump cut shot again. Hard to say whether he did try and cut that in. He just banked it. But now he should be in trouble. That's unless Shibo decides he's going to try and run these balls, when it might be wiser to play a good safety. Well, he's got the 9 again. Did he play that? I don't know. No, I don't think he did from that response. So again, it's another quick rack. Is that the 2 ball went into the right middle? 3 ball hanging over the pocket, but no shot in the 1. So he's just going to pot the 3. And the push has been passed back to Shibo. He's went for the reverse bank. He gets it. He's got a shot in the 4. And he's going to have problems with the 5. Let's have a look at the 5. Well, it goes past the 9 into that corner. And he's got to judge the pace in this right, and he's overhit it. He's going to hook himself behind that 6, is he? No, he's not. So he's got the cut into the middle. He needs to watch the in-off again. Well, that's going to be a safety, I think. But you might see the same thing in return here. You might see the reverse bank, or he might even try the thin cut. The thin cut is on. Well, he's not cut it enough. And once again, Shibo has a chance. And it looks as if it's going to be a 6-7 combo. But the only way he's going to be able to do that is by getting that cue ball into the middle of the table. And that needs to slow down. And now the problem is he's stuck right over the 8 ball. And this isn't easy to judge. And of course that was the other side of the problem. When you're making that angle up, you don't know where the 6 ball's going. And he spun that too much. That needs to hold up. Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Smith, John will be going for the bank here. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. And he's got the bank. Where's the cue ball going to finish? Well, in probably the worst place that it could. It's left it awkward. A very difficult shot to judge. And Shibo's time in this tournament is hanging on a thread at the moment. But in goes the 8, but he's scratched. So tempting fate here. Is the luck changing? Can Shibo take advantage of it? Well, he's got a ball in the break. He's got a little cut in the 1 into the middle. The 2 balls sitting in the middle of the table. So is the 3. He needs to be taking his time with this shot. He could even hit it in off the 8. He gets it clean. Again, he's got a slightly fiddly cut on the 2 into the middle. Cue ball's going to be running up past the 3. He looks as if he wants to take it long. He's decided to play it safe. But that's not very safe because he's not got it tight. And again, it's an open invitation. 2 ball goes in. He's got a shot in the 3, and the 4 ball is cut off by the 9. So again, he's got to work the cue ball. And really, the only pocket that 4 ball's going in is the same pocket the 3's about to go in, unless he played a combo in the 8 into the left middle. Well, that needs to spin, and he's got himself hooked. But you can still actually cut that into the bottom left. It's tough, but you can still do it. The cue ball's going to be running over to that right middle pocket, though. This is why he's drawing off it. And that's a great shot. Where's the cue ball going again? Well, stranger things have happened in the game of pool. Shibo's got ball in hand. We all know he's got to run this out, and it's not difficult, and that cue ball is going to have to slow up quick. And that's okay. And he wants to be playing this 8 ball into the middle. He needs to come up to the right hand side. He's underhit that. So again, he's got to draw off it or run down off the rail and out. As long as he gets the cue ball into the table, and he's overdone it. Far too much juice into that, and now the pressure's on. This could be his last shot in the tournament. But in it goes. And Shibo is now on 11 racks, trailing by 3. He gets the 6 ball in, but no shot in the 1. So now he's got to look for a good push. Well, he's tried to tie the 8 ball up with the 9. He's not achieved that. And the question is whether Smith, John decides to play the shot here or pass it back. And that's a good shot. And now Shibo's in trouble, because all these balls are sitting there waiting to be potted. And probably the best thing to do would be to nudge that 8 ball onto the 9. And he's made a complete hash of that as well. He needed to play that a lot softer. He was obviously playing a deliberate foul. And he's decided to leave Smith, John to try and create something here, because obviously the pockets are blocked here. So he's playing the combo. He's got that. So once the 1 ball goes in, he's going to have an angle on the 3 to come over for the 4. And Shibo will be regretting not nailing that 8 ball onto the 9. And this looks as if it's going too straight, is it? No, he's got the slight angle. Where's the cue ball going again? Not again. No, not this time. So here's the crucial one. Getting on to the 7. And that 5 ball thought about it. But once again, there is a slight angle, but he's probably going to just draw straight back here and leave the 8 ball long. That's the safest option. And he's got a perfect angle in the 8, just to stun it in and a little draw behind the 9. And this match will be all over. Well, he's went the other way. I wouldn't have done that. Okay, he should still get this 9, but this isn't a gimme. Well, it just caught the joyment in, and the match is all over. And somehow or other, Shibo did end up making the match a bit more respectable. But Smith, John eventually gets the rack he needed and wins the match by 15 racks to 11. And, well, Smith, John is certainly going to have to play better in the next match. And Shibo needs an awful lot of practice.